It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here, and this is going to be quite interesting for all of us. Bounty Tank is here, and I'm sure you have all seen his YouTube series, which is also on Tubi, right?
Correct, yes.
Yes, which is basically you going out and you're, actually, could we say this word, but you're a bounty hunter.
Correct, yep.
But in Ohio, you can't say bounty hunter.
The term is technically banned, but everyone knows us as bounty hunters, yes.
Why is bounty hunter, why would they do that? It just doesn't sound good, or
They don't want to take accountability for the work that goes into the actual job of bounty hunting. I'm a bondsman first,
right.
So bounty hunting just comes with it, but they don't want to acknowledge that, basically, to say that, liability-wise.
And in watching your show and also reading up on you, I saw there's not a lot of you across the nation. It's not a job that, there's, about 10,000?
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's a dying field. I mean, it is. It's dangerous. And it's just people are getting out of the business. I mean, it's a dying breed. I'm probably the last of the Mohicans, still left, yeah.
But you enjoy what you do. What I do like is how you're very humanizing to people. Mm-hmm. It's not like a kick in the door, drag somebody out. You'll actually try to do things in a way where you can get people to come in. They, skip bail. What is it called? Jump bail?
Jump bail, yeah.
Yeah, they've jump bail. And that means they put their deposit, but then they didn't show up to court. Mm-hmm. And you're not like threatening to them. It's more like, I want to help you.
Right. I mean, you got to look at it like this. I'm a normal human being. So I really pride myself on treating people with respect, and because everybody goes through stuff, everybody makes mistakes in life. So you don't tear people down when they're at their lowest moment. So I really strive into helping people. It's a lot of people I deal with just on drugs. I try to get them rehab. I try to offer people jobs. I mean, it's all about being able to touch people in a positive way. It's not all about kicking in doors. Yes, it's entertaining. You want to see me kick a door in. But if you don't do something positive with with the platform that you have, then what's the point of doing it? So it fills that void for me helping people. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about how you even got to this, right? You went to Hampton University.
Yes.
You graduated from school with a nursing degree?
Yep.
I'm sure that comes in handy sometimes.
Sometimes you got to nurse some people, man. I mean, I went to school for nursing, like you said. I got my degree. I wanted to do something that was still athletic. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to work in a building all day. I wanted to be free. So I initially looked up being a U.S. Marshal. It was a hiring freeze at the time. Mm-hmm. So bounty hunting came up next, and I was like, "What is this? It's kind of similar." So I actually started doing it while I was in college doing clinicals.
Wow!
I started hunting, and thank God. God blessed me with finding my niche at an early age. So it's been going since then.
From nursing to looking for how to be a U.S. Marshal to being a bounty hunter. I can understand why that term, though, because like hunter sounds, it does sound harsh. Yeah.
And then, the phrase bounty hunter stems back all the way to the 1800s, man. A lot of people call slave catchers, and, so it has some different meaning. Retrospect to it. So that's why the term is kind of up in the air. Yeah.
All right. So talk to me about the first time you ever went out on a job and what that experience was like for you. Because it is a dangerous job to have.
Can I be really detailed?
Yes.
Okay. This one's not dangerous. This is more a little bit comical. So I was in Virginia. A bondsman gave me a chance to find somebody. I went out looking for this guy. I went to hotel because I knew he was staying in hotels. He was on drugs. So I went to about 15 different hotels, and finally the clerk said, yeah, he's in room so-and-so. So I go to the room. I bang on the door. I said, open up or I'm going to kick it in, which is my favorite line. Had to bang for about 5-10 minutes. Finally, he opened up the door. And what I seen still haunts me today. There was a laptop playing porn. There was a grapefruit, and there was a Snickers, and he was butt naked just sitting there. So I was like, get on the floor, put your hands up. Nah, get up, put your hands up.
Yeah, don't get on the floor, please.
So that was my first time actually finding somebody. I mean, it was pretty wild.
So what was he doing with the grapefruit?
I don't know. But it was, we can imagine. I knew what he was doing with the grapefruit. Now, the Snickers threw me off.
That might be a little different.
I was thrown off by the Snickers.
What type of porn was he watching?
It was heterosexual porn. Okay. I will give him that. It was
I'll give him that.
So I wasn't too worried about the Snickers at that point.
And I've seen you say, on different occasions that the most dangerous time you ever had was one mission in Detroit.
Yes.
And they actually started shooting at you, which is definitely a risk. Was that the only time that's happened?
That I've got shot at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had guns put on me, but that's the only time that I've ever had someone shoot at me, and I was actually running for my life. So, yeah, shout out to Detroit because
oh my gosh,
they helped me get and helped me navigate through this job. You know what I mean? Because I was out there young.
handing out flyers.
Yeah, handing out flyers, thinking I'm doing something because I got a badge, not knowing that means nothing in the streets.
Right.
And I got a quick lesson. So, yeah.
And then, so how did you move differently after that? Because that, like you said, that was a lesson learned when you were younger.
Now I know that the badge means nothing in the streets. I mean, you got to show people respect. You got to move a certain way. You give respect, you get respect back. So that helped me navigate, not to be power tripping, not to think just because I got this on, I can say what I want, do what I want. You can't.
Right.
Somebody will take you out.
Yeah.
It don't matter who you is.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Have you ever, was that the only time you felt like your life was in danger? I know you said you've had guns pulled on you, but
I get death threats all the time. Yeah, so it's.
But the truth to the matter is you are trying to help, right?
I am.
And people know when they jump ill.
Yeah, they know.
They're aware.
They know.
Like, there's only so long you can avoid that.
Right. And I'm not the police. I'm not out here solving crime. I'm not Batman. If you're committing a crime, I don't recommend it, but, I'm not going to go arrest you. I don't have that authority unless I'm doing a citizen's arrest, but that's not my responsibility. I bond people out of jail that need help getting out, and if they don't abide by that contract, I got to go find them or we lose money. That is it.
Now, how do you get paid? Because sometimes these jobs can take, like you said, you end up going to 15 different hotels. Sometimes things can take a couple of weeks.
Right.
Who knows how long it could take. So financially, is this something that you will be like, okay, you can make some good money doing this?
So being a bondsman, you can freelance, but I'm being a bounty, I'm a bail bondsman. So I make my money getting people out of jail.
Right.
I have to go find these people. I don't get paid to find them. That's what people don't realize.
Okay.
I'm actually bounding these individuals out, and they skip court on me. And I have to get them or we lose money. So I'm not getting paid for it. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So lucratively, let's talk about some numbers. So if somebody wanted to get into this business for the way that you do it, is it something that you would say this could be something that is lucrative?
I'll say this, crime never stops. There you go, right there.
Jumping bail never stops either.
People always gonna skip court and commit crimes.
Now, there was a point in time when I saw that you were getting a Netflix deal. I wasn't getting a Netflix deal. Okay.
No, it was more so we were pitching to Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, actually, the producers from Cops, were they on board to?
Yeah, Morgan Langley. I'm still working with them right now, distribution. We're gonna be up. My old episodes are gonna be on Roku and Reels, so
nice.
We're working that right now. Yeah.
I mean, the YouTube channel is lit.
Yeah, thank you.
What made you decide to even start filming this and putting it out there for people to see?
Honestly, I mean, everybody knows the famous dog, and I was like, man, I got a different flavor to this. I need to show us a different way to do this. I don't wear tactical gear. I'll have on some red bottom shoes, a chain, Cartier glasses. I'm out there fresh. I wanted to show kids that you can still have that look that kids want, that cool factor, and still do something positive with a badge. So I wanted to be that figure where they look at somebody with a badge and they're not intimidated. It's like, oh, maybe I can do this.
Right.
So I wanted just to stir the culture up.
And legally, you can't just go into somebody's home, though, right? How does that work? Because unless you have a search warrant, can you? Because we always see the kick in the door, do this, do X, Y, and Z. But how does that work legally?
So when you see me kicking in someone's door, they have signed a contract giving me the legal right to go in.
Okay.
They have signed their rights away. The co-signer and the defendant. Now, there's certain circumstances where there's a party involved that didn't sign the contract. But if we know the defendant is in there, we lay eyes on them, we can legally go in there.
Ooh,
so I'm not just kicking random people doors in. That's illegal.
Yeah, because I remember seeing different instances where, I saw one woman had a case because they kicked in her door and then they sat there and they wouldn't leave.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it turned into a whole situation because they were like, you're not even supposed to be in this person's home.
Right.
But when they signed to get that bail money, they're also signing for you to be able to come and apprehend them if they don't show up.
Signing their rights away. So you better be careful who you signing bond for. Women out there signing bond for their boyfriends in the streets,
man.
You better be careful because, hey, you get to mess with the church's blood, we coming for you.
And that's a scary thing because think about people who do that, right, to help someone else that's in a bind. And some people put their house up
Yes.
and put up, all whatever for collateral just in case something happens, and something they could not show up to court.
Right.
And then they can lose it. Let me ask you this: if a person misses their court date, is that just it, or do they have the opportunity to still like come back and?
If they miss court, the court is going to notify me. They're going to say, "Hey, Tank, this person missed court. You got 45 days to find them." So we get a time frame to find them. So they still have an opportunity to do the right thing and turn themselves in, but most of them don't. So.
Oh, really? The majority of them don't.
The majority, once they miss, the people that miss court, the majority of them, they're just on the run. But you do have a small percentage that maybe the court messed up or something maybe tragic happened in their life. Maybe someone died. And if they call me and talk to me, I'm really nice. I'll say, hey, all right, you got a week to get your affairs intact. After the week, I'm coming. So most people don't.
Yeah. I remember one episode I saw, this guy was at home on meth. His house was a mess.
Oh, that's everyone.
Yeah, And I was thinking to myself, this is also like this plus hoarders, mixed in together. Yeah. But sometimes people take to your personality and they actually are like, okay, you all joking and laughing while they're going to turn themselves in, and
I'm a de-escalator. I'm a human, so I like to, like I said, it's people, they're going to jail. You don't need to be mean. I'm going to talk to you, crack jokes, I didn't let people finish bottles of liquor. I didn't let people finish their blunts before they go to jail. You know what I mean? So
like, there, just give me a moment.
Yeah, we'll kick it, and a lot of times they get out of jail. I'm cool with them. I might help them out with a job. I might kick it with some of them. So I'm just a normal guy.
What would you advise somebody who's listening right now who's like, damn, I'm on the run? And, I didn't take the opportunity. I missed bail, and I didn't go to court, and now I'm on the run. What is the best way for them to handle a situation like this?
The best way, for one, you need to think about this. Who signed for you? What's going to happen to the person that signed for you? If your mom signed for you, she's going to lose money. She could lose her job. She can lose her house. Think about the people that are being affected by your decision. Then after you do that, turn your ass in.
I definitely bonded somebody out of jail one time in my life. And no, they went to court but I also kept thinking until that court date happened, like, dear God, please don't I think it was like a $30,000 too that I would have lost.
Was it an ex?
No, it was just a friend of mine, and he really, really, this is a long time ago, needed the help. So, you just put down the 10%. But I was like, dear God, if he misses this, I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Were you scared when you did the application?
I was scared.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I was so nervous.
Was you checking all his court dates, making sure he was getting there?
Because I knew what date he had to go, and I really did not, so after I was checking it, make sure you go to court, because it definitely was something that'll make you nervous. That's not a small amount of money to.
No, it's not.
And so you're right. You do have to think about who signed for you, because some people do that with every intention of knowing they're not going to show up.
Right. I see people screw their moms over, grandmas. It's crazy, It couldn't be me. I wouldn't do it. I'm not signing for nobody.
Now, you're also a rapper.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a second, because, and clearly you like the strip club.
I didn't got out of that now. I didn't got out of that.
Oh, yeah? Okay, that's old news.
That's old news, yeah. I done switched it up now. I'm switching, man.
I bet you could get a lot of work done in there, too.
I do get a lot of work done in there. I didn't win in strip clubs and snatch money off G-strings of females that owed me money. Yeah.
No, you did not.
Oh, I swear to God, you better ask about me.
That is a wild thing to do. So talk to me about this music career that you have, too. You have a very clear, laid-back type of style.
Okay. At first I was scared to even get into music because of what I do. I wear a badge. I have a bulletproof vest. People look at me in the streets as the police. So with our culture, it's going to be really hard for them to accept me doing music. But I don't care. I kicked the door into it. I've been doing well at it. I talk about my life, what I'm doing, and I'm not in the streets. Let me say this. I'm not a street guy, but I am in the streets.
Right.
So some of my music, street people can relate to, because I'm talking about kicking in doors. They might just be doing it for the wrong reasons, but I'm just talking about my life and having fun with it. That's it. I love it. I love music. So.
Let me ask you this. Do you ever feel bad, when in situations where you meet somebody and you have to bring them in and you're like, oh, man, this is a tragic situation. I kind of have a lot of sympathy for this person.
All the time. This job plays with your heartstrings a lot. I meet so many young people on drugs. You'll meet someone that's 20 years old, and when you see them, they look 60 because the drugs are eating them away. So that's why I have so much of a kind heart, where I try to direct people towards, getting rehab and getting some type of help, man, because it bothers you. Seeing someone your age
Right.
messed up on drugs, and you see how they used to look and how they were performing in life, unless you don't have a soul, it bothers you. It does.
What do you do for yourself to make sure that you can separate? Because that's not an easy job to separate your real life and your emotions from work.
Wow, that's a good question. I take trips. I go to the gym. I try to find as many positive coping mechanisms as I can because, with this job, you're just constantly around negativity all the time, and it'll wear on you too. So I like to take trips. I like nature. I like to be around water. I'll kick it with my daughter. You know what I mean? Take the dogs and walk. Just simple stuff to give this therapeutic for me.
Right.
And I try to stay in church. As much as I can.
Yeah, because whenever you come to the door, it's never a good feeling for the person on the other side that has to.
Some people be happy when I come to the door now, mostly because they know I got the show. They, oh yeah, he's here, but
We're gonna be on TV.
Yeah, people dropping shout outs and everything. Yeah, so it's cool.
And so, do you think there's a job that you feel like you can do? Like I know, obviously, like you've gotten a lot of attention for it. You have damn near 1 million subscribers, on YouTube, and a show that's going to be in the works that I feel like is going to be on a major streaming service or network at some point. For you, do you have a plan for when your out is? Because it is something that is a really heavy job to have every day.
I don't want to be 55 years old kicking indoors with bad knees. So my plan is to just coach up someone like myself to learn the game, and they can take over the hunting part. I'll always be a bondsman.
Okay.
Because the bondsman, I can just get somebody out of jail. You know what I mean? So I'll never get out the business, but I don't necessarily want to be out kicking doors in. So I'm going to just find people that are passionate about this, have good backgrounds, and really want to learn this, and just coach up a team where I don't have to do that no more.
Do a lot of people reach out to you now for that?
I get a ton of people to reach out, but everybody just wants to kick a door in or carry a gun. So,
I definitely don't want to do that.
You got to have.
I don't want to kick in nobody's
door. You can't be. If you were picked on as a kid, I don't want you. No. If you just want to carry a gun, I don't want you. I need personal people who can learn and understand these are regular people. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Well, listen, I appreciate you for coming through. I'm going to be looking forward to everything that you have going on.
Okay.
I definitely recommend everybody pay attention to Bounty Take. Go to his page. If you just Google it on YouTube, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure you've seen some clips at least somewhere, but you can flash back. And you said you can see all the episodes, right, on Roku also?
You can, look, season 1 through 5, you can check out on Tubi. Season 6 is now streaming right now on YouTube, and it's going crazy. So, make sure.
I like that you have all these different streams of income,
You got to hustle. Yeah, I'm a single parent. I got to hustle. So, yeah.
When it comes to you being, just being a bondsman in itself, what percentage of people actually skip out on bail?
I'm going to say out of 100%, I'm going to say about 30%. Most people do got to go to court, especially if they know they're going through me.
Right.
But you got the vast majority, that 30%, they gonna bust a move. Look, I'm gonna tell you this, around holidays and summertime, that's when people take off. No one wants to go to jail in the summer, and no one wants to go to jail around holidays. Ever.
Okay. Look, I'll turn myself in after Christmas.
That's what they do too. Yep. So,
all right, well, Frank Frazier, thank you so much for joining us today. It's Way Up.
Way Up.